One wear item on the bike which you should check regularly is the chain. This particular chain I've been using for just over a year now. It's done a little over 130 hours and it's starting to look rather tired and need replacing. So there's a couple of checks you can do to assess the condition of the chain. Obviously you can do a visual inspection of the surface condition, check for rust. Another important one is you can rotate the wheel round slowly and look for kinks, and you can see straight away here it's kinks there, which would indicate the joints are getting a little bit stiff, and possibly there's some water ingress, but you can go right round the chain and check for that. Another one is you can check the length of the chain. So in the KTM manual there's a specification. You measure 18 links, measure the length, and if that's outside the specification, the chain should be replaced. I've already measured mine and it's still within spec, but it's just looking very tired. I've used it for a year. It's been a good chain, but I think it's time for a replacement. So this video is going to show you how to replace the chain. To replace the chain, you obviously need a new one. My favorite chain for off-road riding is a DID VT2 narrow X-ring. Here you can see the chain. This particular one is 116 link, which is the right length for my KTM EXC running 30/50 gearing. And the chain comes with a link, master link. This particular one is a clip link, and I prefer these because you can take the chain off if you need to without destroying the link. Some people prefer rivet links, so if you do, make sure you get one of those. If you're not sure what length chain you need, if your bike already has a chain fitted, you can count the number of links on that. If you intend to change the gearing on the bike, obviously you need to get a longer or shorter chain, depending on what size sprockets you're going to be using. When you change the chain, it's always a good idea to change the sprockets too. So you can see here I've got a new 13 front sprocket. Regarding the rear sprocket, I have two wheel sets, and the sprockets on those are still in very good condition, so I'm not going to be changing those. But you should inspect your sprockets and make a decision whether to replace them or not. Here you can see the sprocket I'm going to be using, and you can see the teeth are still in very good condition with minimal wear. This particular sprocket is a super sprocket, so the outer is steel, the inner is aluminium, and they tend to last a very long time. The sprocket change method is different from bike to bike, so I'm going to be covering that in a different video. To change a chain, you need a few tools. The most important one is the chain press tool, and you need this no matter whether you have a clip style master link or rivet style. In either case, you need to press out the original link and press in the new one. Without this, it's pretty much impossible to do. And then flat bladed screwdriver is handy if you have a clip style link. You can press off the clip easily. And then some clip pliers for installing the new clip. The chain I have has a clip master link, which you can see here. And an easy way to take it off is to rotate the chain until the master link is on the sprocket, so it's held firmly. And then using a flat bladed screwdriver, you can press the open end and push it off. Next, you need to press out the master link through the plate. So I've rotated the master link through to an open area where I can put the press tool on. And then you press each side of the master link out a little bit at a time, so you just go to and fro, pressing the pins out. Don't do too much at one time. And then it pops off, and then you can just release the master link. Now the chain is free to come off, so you can just feed it through and lift it off. While you have your chain off, it's an excellent time to inspect all the chain sliders and chain guide. So my chain guide looks fine, and the sliders as well still have plenty of wear left in them, so I'm not going to change any of those. I'll just install a new chain. Here you can see the master link parts. This is the main part of the master link with the rivets. There's a plate which needs to be pressed on to the link. You can see you can position it on manually, but it won't go any further than that, so it needs to be pressed on with the chain press tool. And then there's the clip itself. There's 4 in this case X-rings and some grease to lubricate the rivets. Okay, so feed the new chain around the sprockets, and then I like to install the master link while the chain is on the rear sprocket with the 2 ends here. It makes it very easy to put it through. Then take your master link and put 2 O-rings, in this case X-rings, with grease applied, and then push it through from the other side. Then carefully rotate the chain round, and you need to get the master link somewhere where you can fit the chain tool. So here is a good place. Then fit the O-rings. Make sure you grease them with the supplied grease. And position the plate on top. So the plate is just resting there. It's now ready to be pressed on with the chain tool. Here you can see the setup of the chain tool to press the plate on. This plate is fixed in this position, and then you tighten this and it presses the plate onto the chain. Once you position the chain tool onto the chain, make sure it's aligned, both the plates are in the correct position, and then you can tighten it slowly and it'll press the plate on. And make sure you don't do too much. So I like to do it a little bit and then take it off and check how far it's gone. And you can feel the ridge where the clip slides on, and that's actually just right now. And I can just slide the clip onto both of the rivets. So that's just perfect right now. If you press it on too far, you'll squash the O-rings, which isn't good. And then before you put the clip on, make sure the master link is free to move. If you have pressed the plate on too far, it won't swivel around like that. So make sure that it's not binding and it's free to move. Okay, so now I'm ready to install the clip on the master link, which is here, and I like to install it on the sprocket so the chain is held nice and steady. So rotate the chain around carefully, keep your eye on the master link. So this is the master link here, and I'm going to install it in this position. And then you're ready to install the clip, and you can probably see the clip has an open end and a closed end, and the direction is very important. So the closed end needs to go in the direction of travel. So if you're not sure which way the chain goes, just rotate your rear wheel in a normal riding direction, and you'll see the chain goes this way. So you want the closed end going this way. If you have the open end this way, it can quite easily be pulled off the chain. So getting the direction of the clip is very important. And then you can just position it over the master link and make sure the open end, both of the parts of the open end behind the rivet in the groove. It's sometimes easy to get one side out of the groove and it won't go on properly, or you'll damage the clip. I have a special tool for pushing on the clip. If you don't have a tool, you can use a screwdriver carefully and push from this end. But I have this tool which grips the clip quite nicely, and the pin also, and makes it a bit easier. So I'm going to try and do that right now. and you can see there the clip's gone on. Once the clip's on, make sure it's fully on and in the groove, and this part, the open part, has closed up together. If there's a gap there, it's not good. Indicates the clip isn't seated in the groove correctly in the rivet. The last step of the install is to check and adjust the chain tension, and it's going to be the adjustment's going to be different from your old chain. With the new chain, it's probably going to be slightly shorter, so you'll have to readjust. I covered the adjustment and how to check the tension in a separate video regarding chain maintenance, so if you're not sure, please check that video out.